What's going on, guys? Alex back with Softcleese Gaming, opening up another 5 set boosters of Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth. Very cool set, excited to see it. I can't wait to get my collector boosters in because these set boosters are amazing. And collector boosters are just that much better. I am really liking the art of this set, the flavor, the lore, the mechanics. I just think it's a really fun, well done set. Really good way to bring the Lord of the Rings into Magic the Gathering, and in my opinion, do really well with it. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into opening these 5 packs. Alright, pack number 1 here. Okay, another ring card, mechanic card. We get a Peregrine Took for our foil. A Rivendell enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a legendary creature. Tap to add blue, or tap 1 and a blue and tap it to scry 2, and activate only if you control a legendary creature. Legolas, Counter of Kills. Really cool card. I like that art, the style with that like ring around it. I think that's a really cool art on these cards. Legolas, Counter of Kills is a pretty interesting card to enjoy that, because Legolas, like I have mentioned, is one of my favorite characters. I don't know why, when it comes to Magic the Gathering, elves have always been my favorite, so it's really nice to have a lot of elves in this set to play around with, you know? So foil for this one is going to be one of these nice full portrait style, like Knights of the Dol Amroth. I don't think that's going to focus very well because it's so much going on there. But that's really, really nice looking.
It's talking, Mary. The tree is talking.
Tree? I am no tree. I am an ant.
Tree herder. A shepherd of the forest. Don't talk to it, Mary. Don't encourage it.
Treebeard, some call me.
We do get a Last March of the Ents, so a nice mythic in here. It's 8 mana, can't be countered, and draw cards equal to the greatest toughness among creatures you control. Then put in a number of creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield. So that's a really good card, in green specifically, because green is just can get you 8 mana very, very easily and very efficiently, and has very big creatures to just drop out onto the battlefield for free. We get a Samwise Gamgee. Whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, create a food token. Sacrifice 3 foods. Return target historic card from your graveyard to your hand. And here's another broken card that is really cool. Mirkwood Bats, and I like this art because this is one of those that you can piece together to make a nice piece of artwork. It's a 2/3 for 4 flying. Whenever you create or sacrifice a token, each opponent loses 1 life. I feel like that's going to be very, 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 very powerful. And I'm okay with it. Get an Eowyn, Lady of Rohan. Now for Wrath, Now for Ruin. Shire Scarecrow. 2 mana for a defender that's a 0/3. You can tap 1 to add a mana of any color and activate this only once each turn. Revive the Shire. 2 mana for return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand and create a food. And one of those beautiful forest cards. So really cool to see that. Definitely like to see Last March of the Ents in there. The more mythics we get, as long as they're good ones, the better. So we do get a food token, which is food for Shelob. A Landreval Horizon Witness, one of those bird nobles. Faramir, Prince of Ithilien. It's a 3/3 for 2, a white, and a blue. At the beginning of your end step, choose an opponent. At the beginning of that player's next end step, you draw a card if they didn't attack you that turn. Otherwise, create 3/1/1 white human soldier creature tokens. So kind of a You attack me and I get more creatures, or you don't attack me and I get to draw a card. What's the lesser of two evils? Old Man Willow, legendary tree folk, Glorfindel, Dauntless Rescuer, really cool elf there, Arwen Undomiel, Celeborn the Wise, which I think is a pretty good card. Every time you scry, he gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each card looked at while scrying this way. And whenever you attack with one or more elves, you scry one. So can definitely become very large upon attacking. And I think that that's fun. And if you're, playing in green, as he is green, you have ways to make things bigger and trample and indestructible, and just a lot of tricks you can do during combat to make people take a lot of damage. But we get a Phial of Galadriel, 3 mana for a legendary artifact. Nice foil here. If you would draw a card while you have no cards in hand, draw 2 cards instead. If you would gain life while you have 5 or less life, you gain twice that much life instead. And it is a mana rock. Tap to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Minas Tirith enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a legendary creature, as all of these lands do. Taps for 1 white, or you can tap 1 and a white, tap it, draw a card, activate only if you attacked with 2 or more creatures this turn. We get an Oliphant, which is those gigantic elephants during the Battle of Minas Tirith. Has Mountain Cycling 1, which is cool because it costs 6 for a 6/4 otherwise. But it does have Trample, and whenever it attacks another target creature you control gets +2/+0 and gains Trample until end of turn. So it can be very useful if you can get it onto the field, or it can be very useful for getting that land that you're having trouble drawing. So I like that card. Situationally, of course. Swamp Cycling on that. Protector of Gondor, Errand Rider of Gondor, Stalwarts of Osgiliath, and a regular land. Last pack coming up here. Okay, food token, a Relentless Rohirrim, and we get a Scroll of Isildur. 3 mana for a saga, first phase of which gain control of up to 1 target artifact for as long as you control Scroll of Isildur. The ring tempts you. Phase 2, tap up to 2 target creatures, put a stun counter on each of them, and I just realized this is not focused. Draw, and then phase 3, it does not want to focus at all. Alright, well, phase 3 is draw a card for each tapped creature target opponent controls. So, pretty cool card. Sagas are interesting, for sure. We get a Meneldor, Swift Savior, another one of those birds, giant eagles, gotta love them. And we actually get Gwahir the Windlord. This spell costs 2 less to cast for as long as you've drawn 2 or more cards this turn. And it's a flying vigilance, and other birds you control have vigilance. So, pretty cool. I like the eagles. I think the eagles are awesome. We do get another Stern Scolding, which I think is a good card. Gimli's Axe. Equipped creature gets +3/+0, and as long as the equipped creature is legendary, it has Menace, which is cool. Really good to put on a commander. Haunt of the Dead Marshes, not marches. 1 black for a 1/1. When it enters the battlefield, scry 1. It's a Nightmare Elf. And you can tap 3 to return it from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped, and activate only if you control a legendary creature. Do get a cool mountain in there, and that is going to be the last pack for this video. So, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe, tell me what you think about this set so far. I'm personally really enjoying it. Lord of the Rings is awesome, and let me know what you think in the comments down below. And we'll see you next time.